sing a happy song together, and we'll all be a happy family.
Well, hi and welcome back to my channel. So I've built the rectifier circuits. It looks a bit messy, I know, but hopefully electrically it's okay. And I was more interested in making sure that none of these would short together than I was in making them look really neat. What was there before wasn't particularly neat, was it? So anyhow, put a new fuse in the low voltage side which had blown, and the two smoothing capacitors for the HT are down here. So there is an odd capacitor here which is 100 microfarads at 50 volts, and that was similar to that 16 microfarad. It was tacked up here, but completely elsewhere in the circuit, and that capacitor there actually joins up over here. It's 100 microfarads, so I thought, yeah, I'll just tack it. A modern one is far smaller than the old one, so I just cable tied it onto the cable there at the end. So these are really odd for having components in strange places, where they just squeeze them in wherever they could. So I'm going to monitor the voltages and just carefully apply some power. And I don't just plug it in. What I use is there's an isolation transformer here. So the main supply comes into that, and that there's no earth connected, so the danger of electric shocks is reduced quite a bit by not having any connection to earth. And it goes through a bulb, so that's in series with the tape recorder. So if it draws an awful lot of current as a short circuit, hopefully instead of blowing things up, the bulb will just come on. So this is where I wind up the voltage on the variac, and there's a connection here, so we turn that on. It should be now connected, and then I can wind up the voltage on here. So let's just go up to about 10 volts. So I'm only applying 10 volts to the mains input, and we can see what we're getting. So the needle on this one has just moved, was on 0, and that's the low voltage one. That's on the 50 volt range, that one. And this one is already showing 15 volts. That's the HT side. Now, if I wind it up a bit more, we'll see what happens. And already they're moving. So let's get to 20 volts. So we have about 20 volts going in. We're getting about 30 volts there on the HT one. This one on the 50 volt range is only reading about 1.5 volts at the moment. Now, of course, I've got no valves in it, no motor connected, so it's all off load. And just seeing if we actually do get DC voltages. No glowing from the bulb yet. So let's bring it up slowly. So we've now got 40 volts coming in, 57 volts there, and this has moved up to about 4 volts. Now, it would be ideal to be monitoring current as well, but it took a lot of fiddling about just to rig up these 2 meters. So let's just wind it up to right. So we got about 80 volts there, 110 volts on the HT, and the low tension is nearly up to 10 now. Wind it up slightly more. Yeah, there's about 10 volts there. 124 there. No glowing from the bulb. There shouldn't be. It should be virtually off load with no valves in it. I don't know how much current the low voltage side will take. But we don't seem to have short circuits, so we got to about half voltage. So at 120 volts, I'm getting about 170 on the HT. Sorry about the glare. And this one has now risen to about 14 volts. So if we get double the mains voltage, we'll have about 340 or something like that on the HT, off load, remember. And on this one, hopefully we would have something in the region of about 28 volts, which is not far off what we want. Be a little bit high because we've not got selenium rectifiers. There's 200 volts, just over 140 volts going in, 200 volts on the HT, and we're nearly up to 20 on there. Now we want really to have about 25 volts there, 24, 25 volts. I'm not sure what the HT is offhand. I just want to make sure that the circuit is giving me the voltages at the moment. So there's 250 volts HT and 22 volts. So yes, we are going to have to lose some voltage with resistors, as we know. So we're virtually up to the 24 there. Right, 24 volts now on the low tension side, which is the correct voltage, and 277 on the HT off load. And the input at the moment is around 200 volts. So we're going to be a bit over if we carried on going up. Need to watch that HT that it doesn't go too high. We've got 450 volt capacitors on this side, so I think we'll be okay, but we'll stop at 220. So we got 311 volts there, and this is now over by a little bit, and we are seeing 27 volts there, just over 300 there at 220. So I won't push it any further at this point. The point is that the rectifiers and the capacitors and everything seem to be working reasonably well. It seems to be steady, and it's off load, so it's not a huge test, but it does show that I've got now voltages available and I can control the level with the variac. So I can start thinking about trying to reassemble this beast and just see if anything works, if I do get anything out of it, and whether the motor works and so on. So there's still quite a way to go, but we have now got the two voltages, the HT and the low voltage, connected back up. Okay, so we'll leave it at that point. So I hope that's been of interest, and do consider a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next one. So bye for now.
Sing the happy song together, fill the air with harmony. Sing the happy song together, that's the song to choose. For pushing away the blues, keep the heartstrings throbbing, and the good times coming. It will keep on humming a melody. Sing the happy song together, and we'll all be a happy family.